4.8, Common Ground. Did you want to take this, Mrs. Fitzpatrick?
Sure. I'd like to invite up Mr. Kapuscinski, who is here from Common Ground. I had the pleasure of meeting with him as well as another colleague of his, just to share with us a very important and necessary resource here in our Royal Oak community. We've known a lot about the Common Ground program and name for years, but I was very excited in that meeting just to hear about the number of changes and actually the flexibility that the program has had in the last year or so to better meet the needs of the current students and families in our community. And so after talking with him at length and sharing information with our administrators and such, we've invited him to come and share a few thoughts about Common Ground with the Board of Education and our entire community. So, Mr. Kapuscinski.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here. My name is Jeff Kapuscinski. I am the Chief External Relations Officer for Common Ground. I think most people by now know who Common Ground is. I certainly know that we're well known within this community, probably most likely for our 1-800 Resource and Crisis Helpline, the line that people call when they're struggling with day-to-day issues or perhaps even suicidal thoughts. People may also know that we operate walk-in crisis services at the Resource and Crisis Center in Pontiac. But what people may not know is that we were recently named by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to be the contractor for answering 988 calls throughout the state of Michigan. As many of you know, 988 is the mental health equivalent of 911. So anywhere in the country, people can pick up a phone, dial 988, and get the intervention that they're seeking for their personal crisis. If they do that in the state of Michigan, they are going to be talking to a Common Ground employee. The other thing that you may not know about Common Ground is that we recently launched a behavioral health urgent care just a year ago. The service is currently provided virtually, but we hope to ultimately add a physical location to the service. So I think I just talked about this, I'm sorry, one slide behind. So for behavioral health urgent care, in looking at the community, we know that we get about 8,500 people that come into the crisis center each year seeking services. When we do an analysis, we have calculated that the potential number of people requiring face-to-face crisis services in any given year is about 29,000 people. That's a big gap. And so we came up with a concept to implement a behavioral health urgent care. The concept is very similar to the physical health urgent cares that you see on almost every street corner. However, this one is dedicated to people suffering from behavioral health issues. So this is ideal for people coming in who perhaps are struggling with anxiety, perhaps depression, even extreme grief, or maybe they can't get in to see their regular provider, psychiatrist or therapist. It's an opportunity for them to speak to trained clinicians to help work with them to receive the help that they need and align them with services. We get a lot of folks that don't have a connection to a therapist or a psychiatrist that we're able to help through this new service. The services that we provide include psychiatric evaluation, short-term prescriptions. The staffing for this new program is that we have what we call master's level clinicians that interact with the patients. These are folks that have a master's degree in either social work, psychology, or counseling. But we also staff our urgent care with nurse practitioners, which, as you probably know, are eligible or capable of prescribing medications, obviously under the direction of our medical director. These are known as bridge medications, something that can get the person through whatever they're currently dealing with until they can get into their provider for a longer-term solution or prescription. How it works, as I said, it's a virtual service. It is accessed through our website at commongroundhelps.org. When you go there, you immediately are met with a pop-up that will take you directly to the urgent care page. For new patients, we ask them to call. The early days of our program suggested that people were having difficulty navigating the site. So we've instituted a call number so that people can get registered and get right in. Wait times are under 5 minutes to see a professional therapist once people enter that clinic. For returning people, there is a portal that they can log into and again, get right into the waiting room. So I have a short video that we've actually put together that's currently playing on our website that we think will provide some information that perhaps maybe I haven't. It's only 2 minutes.
The behavioral health urgent care is for everyone. It's absolutely a game changer. The access to care is unlike any other. There's no stigma, and it's very affordable. It's a win-win-win.
Common Ground is a full-service behavioral health crisis services organization. At Common Ground, we help people move from crisis to hope. Behavioral health urgent care is the most important service that we offer right now. It's virtual, which means that a person can be anywhere in the state of Michigan and can log into their computer, go through the app, and see a master's level licensed mental health clinician and a prescriber within less than 30 minutes. It does meet a demand that currently people are waiting, sometimes a long time to get in to see a prescriber. You go to Common Ground's website, which is www.commongroundhelps.org, and click on the behavioral health urgent care link.
If you're a new patient, you'll dial the phone number on the website. If you're a returning patient, you're going to click into your patient portal. You're going to have a digital assistant help you make the appointment. You log in and see the practitioner. Access to mental health care is the #1 barrier for people not seeking treatment, and this is the access.
Anxiety and depression are the top 2 reasons that people seek treatment. And we want to make it easy for them to seek treatment so they're not suffering alone at home.
If you or someone you know needs mental health treatment, just access the urgent care and see what they have to offer. The people that work at the urgent care are compassionate, they're empathetic, they're kind, and they're here to help.
So obviously, I've already given you the web address. We have a telephone number that people can reach out to us, or the walk-in service is available at the Resource and Crisis Center in Pontiac at 1200 North Telegraph. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Mrs. Anderson?
I saw a little note on there that says serves patients 12 and up. Can you elaborate on what services are available to students?
Students 12 and up can access, obviously with parent approval and support, because this is a program that accepts insurance. So obviously the parent would have to put in the insurance payments as they would visiting any other therapist or clinician. But yes, then kids, as long as they're 12 years or older, can participate in this program and get the help that they need.
To follow up, what if parents wanted to talk to you? Like, would you be a good resource for parents to call about the students, thinking that they might need help?
You know, if they're looking for recommendations or referrals, that's really what our Resource and Crisis Helpline is there for. The 1-800 number, 1-800-231-1176. That number is all over our literature. It's a number that people can call for other sources and places that people can go for the specific help that they need.
Mr. Jaworski?
Mrs. Anderson asked most of my questions, which led me to another question. If a student is seeking your assistance through Common Ground and they don't have their parents' permission to do so, is there a way for your organization to lead that child into a direction where they can get the help that they're seeking?
Yes, that would either be through the Resource and Crisis Helpline or 988. Neither of those programs require parental consent or have any payments attached to them. Those are free services available to anyone. So they can call, get a referral, or just talk to someone if they're struggling.
Perfect, thank you.
Ms. Usinski?
Not so much a question, but more a comment, right, in the spirit of our resolution earlier in the meeting and everything too. I was a staff member at Oxford High School during the shooting, and so a year and a half ago, when I was feeling overwhelmed and not connected to the resources that we needed, I called the helpline. And so just like I said, kind of, I think in the spirit of us acknowledging these things, using these things, I'm just so thankful that this is a resource that helped my community then, is present for us now, and it's just incredible the way that you've expanded to help people across Michigan, because it was just such an incredible help at the time, connected me with people that I needed to talk to, got me, advocates, checked in as many times as I needed them to. All of it was very much on my terms, but answered questions that I needed at a really difficult time. So we're just so thankful.
Thank you. That's wonderful to hear. We had people on the ground literally within a couple of hours in Oxford. And we, again, were selected by the state of Michigan to open the Resiliency Center, of which you spoke, in that community that is in existence today, that continues to serve that community.
Mrs. Cook?
I just want to say that the work that your organization is doing is so very important. I was struck by you saying that people could get help, did you say within 5 minutes? That's amazing, because I think that one of the things that is often so difficult is when you're in a crisis to try to navigate the system. You're already struggling, right? So I really appreciate your presentation today, and just wondering, how this information is being disseminated through our schools so that people can know about this and know where they can reach out for help.
Well, the superintendent was kind enough to connect us with some counselors throughout the school district, so they are well aware of this program. Most of them probably knew about it before I showed up, but we try to do whatever outreach we can to get down to the ground level and talk to students directly whenever and wherever we can. Obviously, we promote our services the best we can through our website and social media. But thank you for your comments.
So after our meeting, I was able to speak with our administrative team. I also handed out the flyers that you provided to our PTA council, which would be the presidents and officers of all of our PTA organizations. Those flyers are available in a hard copy in all of our schools currently. We also distributed the digital copy, which you provided us as well. That is in the hands of all of our administrators and then down to their counselors and support staff in every building as well. And we have information on our website. I'd like to be able to link this presentation that you shared tonight to that as well.
Please do.
And if anyone has questions, they can certainly contact their principal or us here at the board office or your organization directly. So I just want to say thank you for an amazing resource. As a teacher, special education teacher in this county, there's just been a long-standing relationship in my professional life with Common Ground and students and families over time, and I'm again thrilled that you've been flexible and been able to meet the current needs of students with these new services. So thank you again.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you. I can only reiterate what everybody else has said. I've done some things for Common Ground for years, been a huge supporter. I also work on Royal Oak Youth Assistance Board, so I shared that information with our Royal Oak Youth Assistance Board, because the challenges of connecting, right, with somebody are real, because there's long wait times and so forth, et cetera. So just the ability, like Mrs. Cook mentioned, when you're having a crisis, you need to talk to somebody right now, not in a week from now or not whenever. So that's so important and so key, and so grateful for this expansion of the program. And I did want to ask one additional question. Do you also receive any kind of external funding? I know you referenced that you can have insurance, but is there also external funding?
Common Ground does receive funding through contracts, state contracts, federal contracts, as well as grants. I will tell you, however, that the urgent care program was funded completely out of donations.
Well, and we will continue to promote in all the venues that we're participating in. I think it's really important. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.